popular kind of screenwriting technique, but I kind of assumed that you guys had heard of it or seen one of these before, so I didn't talk about it too much. But essentially, the idea is you get a bulletin board, and then each note card represents a different scene or a different main story beat. And you can write these note cards in any order, any time of the day. Then you can put them up on a bulletin board and organize them according to act structure, or according to, if it's a short film and maybe you don't have defined acts, maybe you have sequences. And so you have, kind of like just a beginning and an end. A lot of short films are just kind of a setup and a payoff. You can organize them any way you want. You could even put your note cards in a circle as if it's a story clock if you want. I think this particular board is for one of the episodes of Breaking Bad.
Okay. I was also wondering, do you have an example of what a treatment would look like when it's finished?
Or
is it
not really.
Kind of, personalized?
The microphone or my speakers kind of cut out. I didn't really hear what you said. Could you repeat that?
I said, do you have an example of what a treatment would look like?
I heard that part. Well, I couldn't hear what you said after that. But I don't really have like an example, like a visual example to show. But it would essentially just look like, unless you chose to get jiggy with it, it would essentially just look like a double-spaced manuscript, just paragraphs. But when I was kind of doing this research and coming up with this stuff, one thing I really struggled with was not making it too prescriptive, because my kind of philosophy with a lot of things, especially art, especially filmmaking, is that everything we learn about it should be descriptive and not prescriptive, meaning like we shouldn't be imposing rules on ourselves for our art other than like what our budget is, or what the school will allow, or something like that. But in terms of what is good art, what is a good script, that's so subjective. And so I think it's more productive to describe what has worked for other people and gain inspiration from that, but not necessarily to prescribe a method or a formula, because I don't really think something like that exists. But I can totally see how my little method kind of seems like a formula. And I kind of played around with making the different like steps more specific, with like very specific instructions and order of operations. But the focus groups and stuff didn't really like that. They seemed to like the more descriptive approach, where you give them kind of the general gist of how the flow of it works, but then everyone should kind of adapt this flow to what works the best for them. And so for me, what works best for me for like a treatment would just be going into a Google Doc and writing in paragraph form, double spaced, with like headers for big chunks of it, so I can find my way around it easily. But other people who are more creatively inclined might do something different. They might prefer to handwrite it, or they might prefer to go the opposite direction and do like a illustrated document that has lots of pictures and colors and stuff like that. But the main purpose of it is just to help you like not get stuck and not feel pressured by the demons of writer's block.
Sorry, I have so many questions. I don't know anything about this. I have two more questions. So is the treatment, that's what you're presenting before you write the actual screenplay,
Yeah. So,
right?
uh, if interrupt me if I'm getting your question wrong and I'm answering something different, but
Okay.
um, they're kind of like I said at the beginning. The word treatment is used to mean a couple different things. People kind of use it interchangeably, but a lot of times when people ask for a treatment, what they're really asking for is a synopsis. So you show them like a 1 or 2 page version of your story, just written out briefly, so they can get an idea of it and see if they want to. Maybe in our world it would just be like, do they want to help out with it? Do they want to let you shoot on their land, or do they want to do some VFX for you or something like that? But in like Hollywood, it would be to try and get a studio to buy the script from you, or to get a director to sign on to the project. But that's not really what this type of treatment is. This type of treatment is kind of for your eyes only. So um, you could make it really long, you could make it really boring, but the main thing is just to make it speak to you. Did that answer your question at all, or was that different?
Yes, no, that makes sense. And then I was just wondering, for next time, was it anything specific you were thinking we could pitch to each other? Like your clock outline idea, or is it just whatever we have?
um, so my official recommendation, if you were willing to take on the challenge of it, I guess, would be to go through. Are you guys able to see my mouse on the screen or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. To go through like each of these little like rungs in the double helix. So starting with like doing some brainstorming, then making some type of an outline, and then doing some research. And then when we meet next time, then you would just tell your story. So you wouldn't necessarily have to show them your outline or show them the research that you did. The only thing that you'd have to bring is like yourself and your ability to tell your story. And it's okay if your story isn't like finished yet, because you're looking for feedback. But like, I don't think people need to necessarily bring any hard evidence of their work. Just come with a story to tell, and an eagerness to get people's feedback.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just added you to the drive. If you don't mind sharing, when you get a chance, if you don't mind sharing the story clock map on there, just so that's an option in case people do want to use it before next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have it. I might be able to add it right now.
So just to clarify, the treatment is a written down version of the pitch.
I would say the treatment is a halfway point between your pitch and a completed draft of the film. And like I said, I don't want this to be too prescriptive, so you do what works for you. But the pitch should take you. It shouldn't take you 2 hours to tell your pitch. It should maybe take you like max 10 minutes, but maybe somewhere between like 3 to 5 minutes at most, But your treatment, ideally, if you're doing it the way that I'm talking about, it would be like as long as your final script is going to be. So if your final script is going to be a 2-hour movie, you'd have over 100 pages of treatment. It's just your movie in prose form without dialogue. But like I said, you got to do what works for you. The idea is you're bridging between the pitch and your first draft with material, with substance.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. Treatment is just a non-descriptive name for the product.
Sweet. I got the drive. So I think I have the story clock template on a separate external hard drive, so I can't add it right now. But after this meeting, I'll put it on here.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for organizing that. That was awesome. For leading.
Maybe if you could upload this, the DNA chart as well.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys want it, I'll put it up there.
Mhm.
Michael, were you raising your hand? Or were you clapping?
That was the clapping reaction.
Okay. Thank you for the claps. I appreciate the silent applause.
I had an idea concerning this, if anybody's open to it. But my idea would be, if we're gonna follow up with next week with ideas and pitches that we may have, why don't we adapt a script or two and create 2 short films out of them?
I like that idea.
Yeah. You guys are saying. Oh, go ahead. Whoever was talking, keep talking.
Sorry, this is James, but I was going to say, but we should probably do it when more people are in town, so then it's not down to like 3 people. So.
Yeah. Well, if we can do pre-production on something now, then it can be ready to go when there are more people in town.
I do have an idea. I think having the homework for coming up with like a short film idea would be great for what Jesse taught us in this. Like, especially for me, like I didn't know about the clock outline, and I think it's fantastic because it kind of reminds me of storytelling in a Fibonacci way. Having the highs and lows within highs and lows, and it keeps your audience engaged. I think that helps with that. And so I'm definitely going to be using that in future ideas and when I continue to learn how to write. But I like James' idea of having 1 or 2 picked out that we can actually make a short film about. But the route that I would kind of want to see is like when we come back with this homework, that we will feel that we're able to be very creatively free and not be limited by location, people. And so I'd rather this week we can go for the stars as far as creativity for this one assignment. And then maybe after we've all had that good practice, we can then do it again or a number of times and then choose the best one to actually make a film out of.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I like that. And then we can be more prepared for next semester. We can just hit the ground running, which would be super nice.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing that, should we come prepared with a short story idea and not a feature length idea?
Well, Derek was saying we could shoot for the stars creatively wise. For don't worry about budget or location or anything. So I think we shouldn't worry about length either. Pitch what you want to pitch. Yeah. And then as far as actually making one of these ideas as a film, like Derek was saying, we can do it. It doesn't have to be one of these first ones if it doesn't want to be.
Gotcha. And another question I have is, I know, is the rule still that if you write it, you can't direct it in the society?
That's what we had decided on last semester, but I don't think we need to be super strict on that. I don't know, we haven't really talked about it yet this semester.
Okay, cool. Do you have anything else you want to go over, Lana, before we?
No, I don't have anything else.
I had a question. Where are we at with the travel documentary thing? Do we know who's editing it?
Yeah. So Jesse and Derek have volunteered to edit.
Cool.
We can, if you would like to edit, we could always use extra help.
I was just curious because
Yeah.
the footage that I put up on the drive, I did have in mind a sequence for it, so I can maybe help with that part. But I don't necessarily know what the overall goal is with the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, that's something that we'll kind of have to discuss together. I don't think we've completely finalized what type of film we want this to be. But I think that'll the editors will have a big influence on that. But everyone's opinions will be welcomed. But besides that, we want to have all footage in by next Wednesday so we can start post-production and hopefully get it done by the end of the semester.
Lana, I don't think I'm in the travel video chat specifically. And I was wondering if I could put my 2 concepts into that chat and then make a poll for who feels which vibe they would prefer in the travel video. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. No, we only have one group chat right now.
Okay, just the whole film society.
Yeah. Yeah, so go ahead and put a poll up there. That'd be really helpful. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, I think that wraps it up, you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for teaching, Jesse. That was actually really cool. And please come prepared next week. I'm super excited to actually hear about everyone's ideas, because I'm pretty sure that most people in their lives have come up with some sort of film idea that they've wanted to do. I have several that I've written down, so I'll be making one with this treatment. So if you guys have any more questions, if you don't know how to reach Jesse or something, if you need information, you can reach out to me or Ryan, and we can get you on your way. Other than that, I think we are good to go. So thanks for coming, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. I'll see you next week. Derek, before you go, can you send me your email so I can add you to the drive?
Can we just text it to you or just in that message?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, James, or you just want to hang out?
Sorry, I'm starting to make some dinner, so I just left my phone in one spot.
No worries. What are you making?
Some grilled ham and cheese sandwiches.
Mm.
Sounds super good. You got tomato soup?
No.
Man, I'm just in the mood now.
It's okay. You can eat it with spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti
I
sauce.
usually eat them with barbecue sauce.
What? Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I am biased. I do love barbecue sauce, so like dipping it in some barbecue sauce is always super good to me.
I like barbecue sauce too.
Wow.
Oh, I can put avocados. Okay, well, let's see you guys next week.
Oh yeah. See ya.
Okay. See ya.
But I sent you that text, so
Yes, I got it and I added you. So you should be able to access it.
cool.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, it was fun.